Hello everyone, Wyman here from Ethereal Legends, and welcome to a new video where today we are going to be talking about a surplus of new leaks regarding Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Most of you watching this video are already aware that the next Call of Duty game has already been unofficially confirmed to be another main entry in the Call of Duty Black Ops subseries. And currently, we know a lot of information about it, okay? Leaks have been crazy, and this game sounds very interesting, not only conceptually, but also how it will hypothetically play out in terms of execution. Before we start discussing, you may have already noticed that this is the first video being uploaded on this channel with many more to come. So if you do enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. With that said, let's begin. So I think the easiest way to break this down is go through all the information we know about the campaign, then we switch over to the MP, and we save the best for last, that being zombies, because you know me, I love some zombies. So right away, the first thing that we're being told about this new Black Ops 7 campaign is that it is essentially going to be a direct continuation of Black Ops 2, that being a futuristic setting being set in the year 2035. And the story will reportedly be involving Mason and Woods. And when it comes to Mason, I assume the leaks mean David Mason from Black Ops 2, because as we unfortunately are aware, Alex Mason is long dead. It was confirmed with the marketing of Black Ops 6 that the canon ending to Black Ops 2 does not have Mason surviving. He does die in the game's past events. And in hindsight, it makes sense why they would go out of their way to confirm that, because for years it's been open to interpretation what ending is truly canon. You know, the only ending that matters is the ending the player gets. But since they're continuing this plot line, it makes sense to really confirm which of the multiple endings is actually the one that happens in the timeline. Which is unfortunate. It does make a lot of the choices you make throughout the campaign not really matter, since there is a canon set path. But this is one of the unfortunate downsides of making a continuation to this story. As for the futuristic setting, I am genuinely really excited. I am in the minority here, but I really enjoyed the futuristic COD games. I think the futuristic setting allowed for more unique weapon variety, cooler maps, cooler movement. But a lot of people were turned off by the jetpacks and just how insane and sci-fi things got with Infinite Warfare. And so far with Black Ops 7, it looks to be aiming for that nice little middle ground. Because as we all know, Black Ops 2 was futuristic, but it didn't necessarily stray too far in the sci-fi realm. Like, it was really grounded, but just had a lot of futuristic sci-fi elements attached to it. Like I said, it's that perfect middle ground. And I think Black Ops 7 is the perfect canvas to further explore that. Now, the next leak that we received, which I genuinely think is super surprising, I wasn't expecting this, is the fact that the campaign will allow 4-player co-op. For those who have been sticking around for the Black Ops series for a while, you know that this is nothing new. World at War also featured 4-player co-op, and then that was later expanded upon with Black Ops 3. But ever since that title, the Black Ops series hasn't really been interested in doing co-op campaigns again. I find it weird that they kind of experiment with this like every once in a while, and it's not a consistent thing throughout the sub-series, but maybe they only will implement it if the story allows for it, though I find that even more confusing because the Black Ops 3 campaign was definitely mainly targeted towards a single-player experience, and yet that allowed 4-player co-op, so I don't know why that wasn't the case with Black Ops 6 or Cold War, who knows, but I find this exciting though. I mean, I think it's always fun when a single player title allows you to experience it with your friends. So this is cool. I mean, even if it really won't be anything major, just the fact that you can play the campaign with your friends should probably allow more people to play it, or like incentivize them to like try out the story more. This is a neat addition. However, I cannot fully say the same about the next leak, and that is the fact that the story will reportedly be featuring a big open world map titled Avalon. This gives me PTSD to the Modern Warfare 2023 campaign, where in that campaign there were like multiple kind of open world segments that were dreadful to play through. It was really just DMZ inspired, and it was just a lame way of padding out the game to kind of compensate for the fact that the devs did not have the proper time nor resources to make a fully fledged campaign. And this is worrying me because Black Ops 7 is definitely developed under the same circumstances. I mean, Treyarch just made a giant game like Black Ops 6, and already only a year later we're getting a game that will apparently be going for a similar scale. Like it's physically impossible to do that. I don't know how they're gonna do this. There's a lot of red flags concerning this game's development and how it's being made. Maybe they had help from a third-party studio like Raven, or perhaps Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward pitched in. Either way, I'm very concerned. I am very concerned. Next is a more obvious leak, and that is the fact that Omni Movement will be returning, which, I mean, big shocker. Omni Movement was really the biggest thing marketed with Black Ops 6. Like, it's the next big thing to further, like, evolve the series in its gameplay. So, of course, a sequel following up Black Ops 6 will be including it. However, here's where things get interesting. Not only will Omni Movement be coming back, but so will wall running from Black Ops 3, which I find really interesting because we've had wall running before, but only with jetpack gameplay. We've never had a boots on the ground Call of Duty that simultaneously allows for wall running. So I find that very interesting. It's going to be really cool to see how they design the maps and how it will accommodate for that. I initially thought the MP was just going to be comprised of Black Ops 2 maps, because again, Treyarch has had practically no dev time to develop this game, so I don't see how they can make a bunch of brand new maps for the MP. But if it is a bunch of remastered maps, I don't know how the wall running will feature into that, because obviously Black Ops 2, all the multiplayer maps in that game were not designed for wall running. So we'll have to see how they kind of navigate that. But that's it for the campaign, and honestly, I'm pretty excited, though I do have pretty big concerns. I did find the setting of Black Ops 2 really interesting. There's a lot that can be explored there, and it will be cool to follow David Mason, see where his story goes further, along with a veteran older Woods. And the co-op definitely sounds like a fun time, though I'm not sure about implementing open world mechanics into the campaign. And again, with the development of this title, I'm not sure how crazy they can really go the campaign scale. But again, this is just one of those things that we have to wait and see. Next, we're moving on to multiplayer, and the first big leak we got with multiplayer is the fact that it will feature a 32 versus 32 player mode. And I mean, cool, I guess. I'm not really the biggest multiplayer fan, so I'm not sure how significant this innovation is. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure we've had this before with stuff like Ground War. One thing I will say is the maps will have to be pretty big to accommodate 64 players like in a match. But I fail to see how this supposed 32v32 mode would be a bad thing. Secondly, it's confirmed that the MP will feature remakes of popular maps in 2035 with a futuristic Japanese-style theme. So this is essentially confirming that a lot of the maps we're getting will be, remastered. No duh. But I find it interesting that the leak specified that they will be remakes, not remasters. So maybe it will be like spiritually the same maps, but maybe redesigned to accommodate for the Omni movement and wall running. That's probably my guess. The most ambitious thing regarding the MP by far is the fact that everything is planned to have a progression system, that being grenades, kill streaks, and perks. I don't like this. Like, just hearing this, like off rip, I do not like this. I'm gonna have to wait to see how it's implemented, but I think this is just overcomplicating the multiplayer by far. This reminds me of Modern Warfare 2 2022 and how they did camo grinding. It's just overcomplicating a system that wasn't broken, so I fail to see why you would even do this. Grenades do not need a progression system. Kill streaks do not need a progression system. Perks do not need a progression system. They just do not need that. Secondly, a lot of the multiplayer progression that you earned in Black Ops 6 will be carrying over to Black Ops 7. And I'm sorry to say, Black Ops 7 is not being the year 2 allegations. If this is true, okay, this is insane. So what that tells us is this game will kind of function as a year 2 to Black Ops 6, where structurally and functionally it'll be the exact same game, just with slightly tweaked movement and new content. It's crazy how history is repeating itself, because this is exactly what Modern Warfare 3 2023 was to Modern Warfare 2 2022. And I'm not necessarily complaining, because I do really enjoy Black Ops 6. Despite the hate the game's garnered, I do think this is the most solid COD title that we've received since Black Ops 3, maybe even Black Ops 2. But charging your customers $70 for what is basically going to be the same game, I mean, it's not unheard of when it comes to Call of Duty, but man, this is very concerning. So yeah, that's really all the information we have for multiplayer, and I'm kind of glad I'm not really a multiplayer fan, because a lot of the new leaks we have for how Black Ops 7 MP is going to look doesn't really sound too reassuring. It sounds like we're going to be getting a lot of recycled maps, a lot of unnecessary additions, and it's really just going to be a year 2 continuation of Black Ops 6. So if you do have a lot of problems with the way BO6 handles its multiplayer, well, strap in, because really Black Ops 7 is just going to be like, going to probably be carrying over the exact same pros and cons. But this is just me guessing. This is just me operating off of the information we have currently. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but I must specify we will have to wait and see how the final product shapes up. It's just right now I'm worried. Last but definitely not least, we have all the new leaks surrounding zombies. Now this is what I really care about, and it definitely sounds pretty interesting. So the first major leak we have in regards to zombies is the fact that the original crew will be returning, and we've known this for a while now. So Edward Richtofen, Tank Dempsey, Takeo Masaki, Nikolai Belinsky, our 4 classic characters will be coming back and will be the set crew for Black Ops 7. It's actually confirmed, well, not confirmed, but it's basically, we've been told through several leaks that after we get this Janus Towers maps in Black Ops 6, we will be getting a final map to wrap up the season that will introduce the premise crew into the Dark Ether story. And just go and be straight up honest, I hate this. I do not like this. I am completely opposed to this, because Tag der Toten was the perfect ending to these characters and their story. They do not need to be explored more. It was just a perfect finale that gave great closure to these characters we followed for years. So I think resurrecting them and introducing us to like new multiverse variants is an act of desperation, because obviously a lot of people haven't really been too enthusiastic about the Dark Ether story, especially compared to how they were with the premise, with the original Ether story. So I can see from a business move why they would want to bring these characters back, but again, it's just reeks of desperation and a lack of creativity. They should have stayed dead. And plus there's also the fact that Takeo's voice actor is unable to voice act him again, so either they're gonna have to recast him, which will suck, or they will use AI, which will just be unforgivable. So yeah, I'm not excited about this at all. I'm genuinely just not a fan of this. It was one thing bringing Eddie back. It made sense considering how Tog left off, but the other 3 did not need to come back. But I mean, it's happening. We've known this for a while now, so there's really not much we can do. Fortunately, the next leak we do have is more assuring, and that is the fact that zombies will be round-based, thank God. I was betting money that Black Ops 7 Zombies was really just going to be another Vanguard or Modern Warfare situation where it was going to be this like weird kind of Outbreak-styled mode that we would get for the entire year. I genuinely was not expecting us to get another round-based season, especially after how good and consistent the Black Ops 6 season has been. So this is a good surprise, and I am happy we are going to be getting another year of classic zombies. What's more interesting, however, is the launch map we're going to be receiving, and that is the Transit remake. Yes, apparently according to these leaks, we are going to be getting a Transit remake, which is crazy and out of nowhere, but when you think about it, does make a lot of sense. Remember, this game is going to be a spiritual successor to Black Ops 2, and the launch zombies map of Black Ops 2 was Transit. This game is already very fan servicey. It's trying to recapture that Black Ops 2 magic and nostalgia of 2012. So naturally, when it comes to the zombies, not only are we getting our classic characters back, but we're also getting one of the most infamous and memorable zombies maps remade and improved to further recapture the older audiences and bathe us in nostalgia. Again, just pure fan service. Also with Liberty Falls, they can use a lot of those assets with Transit as well. Those are both very small town rural maps, so they already have a lot of assets they can use. And there was the fact that a Transit remake was supposed to come with BO4, but it got scrapped mid-development. I'm not opposed to this, but again, this game already just seems really desperate, and zombies seems to be no different. The next thing that we have to talk about is something I am not excited about at all, and that is the fact we're going to be having a difficulty toggle. So classic zombie fans have been complaining that modern zombies just really isn't all that difficult or engaging, and Treyarch are aware of this, but at the same time they're trying to make the mode more friendly to Warzone players and casuals who aren't really like that experienced with older games. So this kind of seems to be the way of circumventing that. Basically having a hard, normal, and easy mode, and I don't like this. Having a difficulty setting in zombies just kind of defeats the whole purpose of it. It defeats the whole point of getting better and like having bragging rights and like actually engaging with the mode's difficulty. Instead, like you can just turn on easy and you'll just be babied, and it's just dumb. It's entirely antithetical to what zombies was originally supposed to be and what it has been for years up until Cold War. But I'm not really surprised by this change, and again, I'm really not going to engage with the difficulty. Will probably be playing on normal or the hardest setting, so it's just whatever. I'm just kind of over at this point. And the last leak we have to talk about regarding zombies in Black Ops 7 as a whole is the fact that this mode will reportedly be featuring the largest round-based mode ever created, and I call BS. Okay, and I want you to remember that with Black Ops 6, Treyarch said the exact same thing about Terminus. They claimed that Terminus was the largest round-based map ever created, and it turned out that that was a half-truth. Technically, it actually was the largest zombies map ever created, but only because like 50% of it is just water. It's just water. And what makes that worse is populating that open water are 3 islands that the player really has any reason to actually go out and explore. So yeah, most of Terminus you really won't be accessing or like engaging with. So yeah, take this with a grain of salt. Like, it may technically be the largest zombies map, but with the way they were kind of deceitful with Terminus, I wouldn't hold my breath. So yeah, that's all the information we have regarding Black Ops 7, and despite everything, despite all of my concerns and worries, I am excited for this game because, like I've previously stated, this game just reeks of desperation and fan service. Black Ops 6 has not been received too well, and all the games before it have been considered some of the worst titles in the entire franchise. So it's clear Activision are just in panic mode, desperately trying to like bait their old players back. And this game, running off of the Black Ops 2 nostalgia and love, and basically just like featuring a bunch of recycled old maps with both MP and zombies, and just being a year or two to Black Ops 6 because it's clear they don't have the resources in time to make a fully original game, and you have the campaign following Mason and Woods. Like, it's very clear, like they are really trying their best to get Call of Duty back on the map again. And I mean, I don't necessarily blame them, and a lot of this stuff does sound exciting because I am the target demographic for this. I am a hardcore like veteran Call of Duty fan, so a lot of the fan service and bait that they're using does really interest me and does get me excited. But I have to tell you guys to avoid pre-ordering this game at all costs. Do not pre-order this game. I'm gonna pre-order it because I'm an idiot, but I'm telling you guys to not pre-order this. I am way too deep into the Call of Duty rabbit hole. I'm gonna be playing this game no matter what. But if you're kind of a casual fan of the series, or you're not really like itching to play whatever new things out, do not pre-order this game because, again, Treyarch has had barely any time to work on this thing, and they're making a lot of exciting promises, but it's very clear that they're making a lot of uncreative, unoriginal moves. So be very cautious, wait until the game comes out, wait to see what people's opinion of it is, and only then do you purchase it. But there's a lot of red flags, and I'm keeping my ears open, so yeah. But anyways, what do you guys think about all of these Black Ops 7 leaks? There's a lot of information covered here, so are you excited? Do you think I'm being too skeptical, or do you agree with me, or are you just on a complete opposite extreme and you think Black Ops 7 would just be a complete waste of time and no one should bother with it? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I am very interested in hearing what you guys have to say. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content regarding both Black Ops 6 and 7 when it inevitably comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys later. Peace out.